Greetings, my friends. This is Gilles. I thought I'd make this video now because if I don't do it, I might not do it at all. So I thought I come and speak today about the understanding that there are only two different models of societies that are being presented, and there are layers and layers and layers and layers of perception and perspective, and this creates all kinds of complex things that our mind needs to figure it out. But in essence, there is the family of the snake that is creating wants to create a society that's like some kind of a totalitarian socialist society based on poverty, like the New World Order, and the model of God, the model of the light that wants to create a social model that is based on sovereignty, on freedom, and wealth. So eventually people will decide for themselves. The free will continue to run. Some people will not accept divine wealth, will not accept harmonic wealth, will not accept this power, but the model will be in place. For God will always get, but it will take some time. For now, there is those two polarized forces that are opposing each other. For in France, they're gonna tomorrow they're like voting for Miss France. I'm waiting for the bikini défilé to see who would be the most appropriate. For no one is really fitting the bill. I do think that we need clearly to change the European Union or leave it. It's like there is no choice to certain treaties that needs to be addressed. For the past is equilibrium, the balance has been found. For it is mainly about the sovereignty of the money. It's like all kinds of things. There is all those polarized forces that are trying, do not take side for now, right now. Personally, like I said, it's just my perspective, but I would have a tendency to buy vodka and caviar just to support the Russian economy, because they're like, they're portrayed as the bad guys here when they're actually on the right side of the fence. Although it is very, very and politically correct to say that the history will prove me right, will prove this story to be right once the truth. But there are so many. The media is going to have to shift and to change their allegiance, because they've been cut in so many lies, and now those lies are becoming visible and following the American situations and all kinds of things around the world through the media, so a little bit from far away. But I do think that those scandals are going to be revealing much darker things. It's like once the scandal is out, darker things are going to be becoming visible, and then those darker things they're going to have to come into the collective conscious, and then darker things will even come out. So just be ready for the storm of information. We've been informed of that for many years, that will come, and now it's happening. For it's like this terrible thing in America, this woke movement is completely horrible. It's like, whoa, it's like, how can it be insane to put thoughts like that in children? But that's forced people to wake up and say no to that, to all those things. For the card of the what's happening now, the present is trust, is developing distrust in yourself, trust in life, trust in the divine plan. For all is perfect within the divine plan. Everything is happening as it should, and what's coming in the future is righteousness, to be right, to be aligned with that which we know is harmless and true and good. What we're working on now is well-being, to continue to cultivate this inner well-being and outer well-being. And the outcome will be doubts, because many things will have to confront a lot of doubt. Is a dead center, and it's like it's a dead center, so we better make a decision. But we have the time of reflection, of introspection, and then what will happen is a reconciliation, because there needs to be a reconciliation of humanity with the life on the earth, and all the systems of government will have to be changed. For there is I recommend a book for anybody that wants to. It's a bit naive, and it's a very old book. It's called the Republic of Plato. So I read it only once. I wanted to reread again, because when I discovered Plato through that, and then Spirit says, "Well, you got to move on and read the rest of Plato before." But I think it's very interesting, because it's like the Christ didn't talk about the democracy of God. He talked about the kingdom of God, the sovereignty of wisdom within, the empowerment through the love of the acceptance of the source. and the recognition and the experience of that connection. But on the higher planes, there are democracies that are functioning, like on the ascending sphere, the celestial sphere of the universe. Ascending mortals are asked to participate in the evolution of local laws. Yet a Melchizedek will have in his voice 1,000 times more power than an ascending mortal, and that's normal because his wisdom is 1,000 times higher than any ascending mortals. So it's all about discerning what wisdom is and where the correct course of actions, because explaining that love is the love of God is the solution to all problems, it's fine, but how do you implement that? So we're going to have to create different guidelines, and then see how people will integrate that. Is or will accelerate them if they integrate it well, and then we'll slow it down if they don't get it. For it's all about education in accepting this divine consciousness, and so that will take time in terms of humanity being able to accept all that, but it's all in the works. I'm going to pull a few cards. So it's learning to breathe wisely also. To breathe in the company of heaven, to learn to go back to conscious breathing. Also wanted to say that everything that touch our consciousness, we can affect it. It's because of a magic power of sort. Understand that when you see something on the screen, you feel like it's a past event and you have no power to affect it, because that's the way they've been selling the story. When in essence, when something crosses your consciousness, you have, if you see the light within a situation, you have the power to transform any situation through simple thoughts, knowing that it is all one and connected. Even if it's something that an old movie, yeah, it's like, well, you don't want to change the past and the relationship to what's going on at that time, but you have the power to spirit, time, space. Time, space is just a lot more flexible than that we can believe at this time. I'm going to discuss a little bit an idea on cosmology that went through my mind. I thought it was a good visualization in terms of the future of the universe. For the highest wisdom is to let go of all the dramas, all the polarities. It's interesting to observe all that, but not getting emotionally involved in believing that the dark will succeed. So it's very much about understanding that all that appears to be, that is dark, that is coming up, is actually necessary for people to awaken to a certain truth, and that there is everything is supervised and guided by higher intelligence. What needs to be understood is the crossroad. At some point you need to take right or left. It's like take one of them. Just do not stay in doubts. It's like, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Just do nothing if that's the case, and just wait till you get a clear feeling that it is right or left that you need to take. What we need to do is the treasure island. There is this treasure that is coming, and so it is about accepting the receptivity, to be in a receptive mode, and accepting to be free forever. It's not easy because we have those limited mind and consciousness, but to making this affirmation that freedom, wealth, abundance, wisdom, to be in your ascended form, where you can be in the acceptance of that abundance and eternal joy. It can be eternal, as life is always given. Yet there'll still be faced certain shadows. The orphans is just there is still things that needs to be transmuted through the polarization of things. So just do not be hard on yourself, but just catch yourself when you get polarized. Breathe, return to serenity, think of your light, and then from there, because that's the divine timeline, the God timeline, and it's like to be in abundance, and then there is all the free will that will continue to work. For there's going to be a lot of subject that's going to need to be addressed. I'm going to be called to address certain subject of the world, but I'm waiting to be asked for certain things need not to be discussed until it is asked, and so. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to discuss. But anything else that let me see. Yes, I wanted to talk about cosmology. Well, I'm going to put a cosmological model on the cover of this video. From what I know, I don't know all that much about the universe of universes, but I know a lot more than the contemporary science might. And so it is. It was revealed in a book named the Urantia book, in the first part of that book. But then it is through personal study that I came to discover it. It's just it's an introduction to the cosmos. And so the cosmos was actually Originally there was God, and God in paradise, and the central universe, that's an eternal reality. And then eventually other galaxies started to exist, and then it expands through. There is 5 rings of galaxies that were right now. We only on the, we what we see with our super telescope is only the first level of outer space. And scientists believe that what they see is the past of humanity, the past of the universe, when actually it is the future, because those are transcendental galaxies that will open up, transcendental universe, first level of transcendent time and transcendent space reality of experience, that will open up once we have mastered time and space. There are 7 great clusters of galaxies that are here to master time and space, and we're on the 7 clusters. Eventually, our own galaxy will ascend and become the Golden Rose galaxy. And so, our own galaxy is a lot older than all we see. Yet it is so magnificent. There is a special object called the boss. They call it the boss, or the big boss. It's like hundreds of galaxies, almost 1,000 galaxies created this wall of galaxies, this weave. It's so beautiful. And that is the first level of outer space. But we know from Paradise Revelations that there are 3 other levels of outer space that will get eventually greater and greater and greater. So imagine the billions of galaxies that makes our universe, our cosmos right now. And imagine that this is a football, size of a soccer ball. And this soccer ball, you imagine that, so this is all that we see is visible. But what is unmanifested that will come as the second level of outer space will be as big as a football field. And then the third level of outer space will be as big as you take this football field and then you put it at the center of the Sahara. And then you imagine the size of the third level. And then when it comes to the fourth level, it is difficult to apprehend, because it will reach the frontiers of infinity. So imagine the space relationship between the size of the Sahara to the solar system or beyond. So it's the future of the cosmos was going to be so much. It's essentially just layers. Energy circuits that are concentrically organized and get bigger and thicker as they grow away from the eternal center, the paradise center, that's completely invisible. And the universe, the central universe, Avona, will always hold the center, the mass, and will always be invisible. But that will be the eternal core, and eventually we have to traverse the central universe to achieve paradise status. First, we have to ascend through our local universe, super universe, and then we are sent through the central universe. For all of that, those are models. But I thought when it comes to the unimaginable size and glory of that creation will become, for that right now it is still a baby, this universe, the universe of universes, but it's a lot older. It was revealed about 21 trillion 24 trillion years, I think. So it is still very young, not 13 billion years. So just thought I bring this up. This idea of the soccer ball in the football field is like was about what I think is because we know how many paradise architects there are. They're the works of the architects of the master universe and the primary associated transcendental force organizer and the secondary associated transcendental force organizer. One takes the primal energy of space and turn it into physical energy, and then the second order takes the physical energy and turn it into matter, and that's what creates all those beautiful galaxies, and then it's part of the divine plan. For some time, it's to think about all that, you completely escape all of those limited things of the world. But they're both very important to expand your consciousness in relationship to cosmic reality, because we connected to that, to this higher dimension. Actually, I'm going to pull some cards with this. So to connect to your galactic nature, no, you're already there. You're already in the 5th dimension, and then you can continue to integrate the frequencies of that joy, that well-being. And so the highest wisdom is health. Take care of your health. The physical body, the physical body is very resistant, but it still needs to be. We have to be more in love with our physical body, not the appearance of it, but the inner workings of it. And what we need to understand is forgiveness. To forgive ourselves. It is the lack of forgiveness for ourselves is the cause of most illness, because they create negative emotion and self-judgment. So it is about forgiving ourselves. yourself totally, and try to seek to change as well. What we need to do is the Amerindian. Maybe a sign to go to America. That's going to be soon. I loved living there. I lived 20 years in LA, New York, Santa Fe, Miami, Denver, Burlington. I've had a long part of my life in America, and I still have many friends and families, and even paintings there. So I have all kinds of things. So it's all going to get organized. But the idea of the Amerindian is about this memory of understanding, to live in oneness with nature, to understand the Great Spirit is the Great Spirit, the nature. They live in a circular home and they make no impact on ecology. And so those were actually peaceful lives with the Amerindians I had, so they were good lives. And so, but now America is still going to be the Garden of Eden. It has to. There is a great deal of right now it is in suffering and chaos, but it will become as America becomes free, the rest of the world will free itself, because it is the stronghold of the snake. And so just be, but no, the light. Do not be deceived. You can send the snakes back. I call on the light, the archangels. When you see them, just send them back into hell, or whatever they're comfortable in, and for whatever, just send them back to the source. The source will know what to do with it. And the outcome is the angels, to become an angel, to be connected to the angels, to unify with this angelic force, and to work. And it's also to know that when the angels are commissioned to do something, they make manifestation happen. So be in touch with your angel, expect the miracle, the manifestations, and trust the flow, trust yourself. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you for everything, for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, for your donations. If you want a private session, you can send me an email. I'm still doing them. And so I'm going to sing a song that talks about just somebody who wants to navigate the cosmic ocean back to the source, to find the freedom. It's called Sailing. I am sailing home again, cross the sea. I am sailing stormy waters, to be near you, to be free. I am flying like a bird across the sky. I am flying, passing high clouds, to be near you, to be free. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Through the dark night, far away, I am dying, forever crying, to be with you. Who can say? We are sailing home again, cross the sea. We are sailing stormy waters, to be near you, to be free. Oh Lord, to be near you, to be free. Oh my Lord, to be near you, to be free. Oh Lord, to be with you, to be free. So yeah, I want to just be free, but no, you're already free. Call on this power of love, this power of light, and you will see unfolding. For there may still be challenges, but recognize, know that this is really, trust your inner self, trust your inner guidance, your inner creation, the world of cause within you. And the card of the day is the card of transmutation. It's the beautiful Archangel Zadkiel and Lady Amethyst that are assisting us to invoke this violet fire of transmutation. It's called the solution. Success goes through compromise, self control and patience, forgiveness and curative energy. So we just resume what we've been talking about. So I'll continue this transmutation and to continue to allow the process to unfold as gracefully as possible. I wish you a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Adonai.